Hi chess friends, this is the FIDE master Santagati, and in this video I'm very happy to share with you a very nice game that I played against the Grandmaster Rotstein from Germany. I played this game in the VIII International Tournament in Sicily, and I played this game with black. At the hand I managed to take a draw. It was a very hard game for me. I risked a lot to lose the game for more time, so very interesting. So okay, let's go to see the game. So he played knight f3 and I played knight f6, g3 c5. Usually play this kind of move to have the control of the square d4 to avoid d4, to have the option to take on d4 if you would play it. And now bishop g2 and I played knight c6, d4. Okay, d4 is to be a new move for me, never seen before. It's playable, yeah. And now I decide to play d5 to don't take immediately, and now I played c4. And now I think in the game I played d6, but I missed the opportunity to play dc4. dc4 now could be a good idea because after bishop e3 I can play e6, and after castle kingside I can play knight d5, and this position is good for black because the bishop on e3 is not so good, and I think is a much harder for white to find good moves here. So I missed the opportunity to play it, and I decided to play e6 in a defensive way. The big difference between my game and the position that I showed before is that in the game after castle and dc4 that I played, white can play dc5, and now after the trade of the queen, white can take with the rook. But if I play dc4 immediately, so after c4 I play dc4, for white is not possible play dc5, because after dc5 I can play queen d1, and now the white position is bad because there is the king on d1 and not the rook, so there is a big difference, we can say. Okay, so let's go back. So after c4, dc4 is the best, but I play d6 and castle, and then dc4, dc5, and I decide to play that game, and white played knight d2 to take the pawn on c4, because at the moment I'm a pawn up, but I can't defend the pawn c4. Probably here the best move is play c3 to weaken the structure, to return the pawn, but weaken the structure, and I think this position is completely fine for me. But I decided to play in a different way with knight g4, and I underestimate the move knight d4. Knight d4 is a strong move for white because white can defend the pawn and the attack of the bishop at the same time, and now the white is white can find a very good active position. So knight g4 was a mistake, and now I was forced to play bishop a7, knight d4, and after knight d4, knight takes d4, rook takes d4, and now white can take the pawn on c4 with the rook. f5 I played, knight d6, and bishop takes d6, rook d6, and king e7. So to be honest, I didn't play very well in the middle game and in the opening. White has a clear advantage here because after rook d8, bishop g5, and the rook takes c4, my pieces are very bad. I have huge problems to develop the pieces, so my position is terrible, we can say. And I played h6 because my idea is try to simplify. I know that my position is horrible, but I try to simplify. I want to trade pieces, and maybe I can open a draw. And he played rook c7, check. I played rook d7, normal. Now bishop takes f6, and I have to take with the king because Noha is very bad gf6. The h6 pawn could be a very bad problem for me, so I have to take with the king, and now rook c1. Now there is a big threat against the bishop on c8, and there is a very big threat against the pawn on b7. So now I'm forced to take the rook and then rook b8. Okay, I can defend all at the moment, but my position is very passive, and I have a huge problem about how to develop the bishop on c8. It's not very easy to find a way to develop this bishop. So at the moment I have this problem. So what can I Okay, played f4 to block my pawn e. Maybe it's also interesting play b4 for white, because after b4 black can white can avoid a5 that white can do. So maybe b4 is slightly better, but he played f4, completely fine. And now a5, because my idea is to play b6 and then play bishop a6, because in this way I can develop my bishop. So basically, so that's my easy idea. So h4 b6. My idea is play this. It's bad for me play g6 now. So for example, okay, he played the rook a7 for example. I don't like g6 because after g6 there is rook h7, I think, or maybe not. Okay, f5 is bad because there is rook h8, and the problem is that bishop and rook are blocked. Yes, maybe I can play g6. To be honest, in the game I was scared about rook h7, but I missed it that I can play bishop a6. Yeah, I can do that because if he takes the pawn, there is king g7, so no, okay, terrible. Yeah. So okay, I played h5, but I could also play g6. Yes, I can do that. And yes, it's completely playable. At the end, I reached the same position, but I could also play g6 first and then play h5. To be honest, in the game I didn't see bishop a6, it was strange, but I played h5 and king f2 and then g6. And now e3. Okay, now my only move is play e5 because I have to develop this bishop. I can't play all the game without the bishop, so I have to do something. So I play d5, fe5, king e5, and rook g7. Another question is, do you prefer defend the pawn or do you prefer develop the bishop? That's a very interesting question. The answer should be easy, because if you defend the pawn, I think you lose the game, because after rook g8, you have no way now, but also in the future, to develop the pieces. Because how can you move the bishop and how can you move the rook? If you move the bishop, you lose the rook. If you move the rook, you lose the bishop, or you lose the rook too. So I don't see a way for black to develop the pieces. So after rook g8, the game is completely lost, and after king f6, I can resign. Yes, I have the same number of pieces now, but I can resign because I don't have moves, so the game is basically lost. So after rook g7, I have to play bishop e6. I have to play in an active way. I can't sacrifice the pawn. Okay, we can say sacrifice. He won the pawn because I was forced to sacrifice. And rook g6. Rook c8. Okay, I have to activate the pieces. Rook h6. And now a4. I played a4 because my first idea was play rook c2, but after rook c2, I was a little scared about b4 to trade pawns. And it's still playable, but to be honest, I didn't like this. And I prefer to play a4 first to block the pawns, and then after rook h5, rook c2. And now he played g4. That's a mistake for white. White could win the game, I think, could win the game playing a rook h8. Rook h8 is very nice because I have no time to counterplay with rook takes b2, because there is h5, and if b5 there is h6, and if b4 there is h7, and white can promote first, so white is winning. Okay, if I try to go with the king, so for example, if after rook h8 I try to play king f6, rook a8, rook a8, and after rook a8 I have to play b5 to defend the pawn, and then rook a6, or maybe h5 can be possible. Yeah, also h5 can be good, but rook a6 is okay. And the point, sorry, what happened with my board? I don't know. Rook a8. Okay, so rook a8, b5, rook b5, rook a6. A little problem with my mouse, but okay. So rook a6. I don't know why. Okay, rook a6 I said. And after rook a6 there is a problem, because if maybe black will play king f7, now h5. If black will move the bishop, I think also h6 or bishop f3 to defend first, and when rook takes b2 we have h6. The h pawn is stronger, so now white is going to win, because after now rook b3 maybe to do something, there is bishop h5, king g8, and bishop g6, so white can also play for checkmate, so the game is over, white is winning. So basically after rook c2, white can win playing rook h8. I was really lucky because he played g4 and now rook takes b2, and now the white pawns are slow and I can have counterplay, because in this kind of position one tempo can be a big difference. So one tempo can change completely the game. So b5, now my position is fine, rook h8, b4, a4, a3, rook a8 to block my pawn, a2, and I played h5. To be honest, at the beginning when I thought maybe 5 moves before, my first idea was play rook b1, but now I understood that if I play rook b1 now I lose the game, because after h6 and queen, white can take the queen and then h7 and I lost. So I understood it, and I understood that was much better for me to play rook takes b4, what I did to keep the pawn on a2 and use the rook also to block the enemy pawns. h6. But now I made a blunder. It's the move 38, so I was very close to the time control. At move 40 I have extra 30 minutes, so now I have to time my clock, and I played very quickly. And when I played the rook b8, I immediately saw the move h7, and I understood that my game is lost after h7, because no way, maybe this, but after g6 I have no way to defend, because after rook h8 and queen, white can play check, and then queen, and white is up a rook, so white is going to win. So when I played rook b8, I was a little disappointed with my move, but the important is keep calm and wait, think. And at the other end, I was lucky because my opponent didn't see h7, and he played the rook a4. And after rook a4, I can't take a draw, because I play bishop b3, and he's forced to play rook a6, because if he plays a different moves, for example rook here, I play king f4 and I'm going to win, because I can now take the pawns. If g6, I go here and I'll take the pawns. So h7, I take, and now black is much better, because if I can take the pawn, then the pawn a would be very dangerous. So that's a big problem for white. So after bishop b3, the only move is rook a6. Why rook a6 is the only move? Because if I play now king f4, I lose. Maybe not I lose, but I have problems, because I have to play in this way, then g7, and then you see the rook can defend the pawn. So this position is good for white. So now I see that after rook a6 he can defend well, so I prefer to play bishop c4 and I force a draw, because he must play again rook a4, because if he plays again a different move like rook check, king f4, and that's very good for me, I think. g6, king g5, and very good position for black now. So I was forced to play after bishop c4, rook a4, bishop b3, rook a6, bishop c4, now draw for repetition. So it was a very interesting game. Yes, I made some mistakes, but it's very interesting the idea to counterplay, to play always active chess, to try to do something. That's very important, because it's the only way often to play, to take a draw or to win in some positions. Play active chess, so understand how to improve the piece, and don't think only about the material. So that's the most important lesson that we can take with this video. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed this, and see you soon for the next. If you have questions, feel free to comment. So thank you again. Bye.